Hello guys, I'm Super. Welcome back to the channel. We're here at Auto Shack with my new project, looking very sorry for itself, my daddy cool Zafira GSI. In this episode, I'm going to give you a full walk around inside and out, showing you the great spec that it's got, everything that's wrong with it, and the general condition of the whole car. So let's have a look at that. So this is my 2003 Zafira GSI 2-litre turbo. They had the full Recaro interior, they had this stunning Ardent Blue paintwork, the full body kit, the wheels, everything, and they just look amazing. I've wanted one for quite some time, so when this one came up for sale, local to me, I could not resist, I had to go out and buy it. This one is a non-runner, and as you can see, it's been sat up for quite some time. It's been sat in a garage's yard for the last 2 years, which is why it's so green and grotty, and it's got its own little ecosystem growing in all the rubbers and the crevices. But this is going to be a great project for this channel. We're going to be valeting it, we're going to be machine polishing it. I'm going to give it a full pressure wash, get all the muck and dirt, and then machine polish and paint correction all the way over so we can see what we're actually left with. And then also, this is a project because it's a non-runner. So together, we're going to diagnose the engine problems, find out what's wrong with it, and whether it needs a brand new engine or whether it does need a rebuild. So we'll all look in that together. But in this video, I'm just going to give you a walk around showing the full spec, because this was a one lady owner car. She bought it brand new from the showroom way back in 2003 and actually booked it in to be registered on the 1st of September 2003, which is new reg day. So it means they went to the showroom, the big doors opened, and they were the first 53 reg to drive out on the public roads, which is quite a special thing for a car. And they also ticked a load of options. So it's got sat nav, it's got the TV that flips down from the roof, it's got the parking sensors, it's got full electric windows all round, it's got the full leather interior, not the half leather. So it's got black leather Recaros heated in the front, all 7 seats, it's got the 2-litre turbo. And the thing I like about this is it's completely original. It's not been messed around with. People haven't been bodging things off. It's still got the original airbox, exhaust, everything is just OE, and that's just how I like it. I like having a full factory fresh example, and we're going to maintain that and make this just as good as it came out 17 years ago. So I went and viewed the car with the full knowledge that this was a non-runner, which is very common for these Ecotec turbo engines. They love to melt pistons or fry piston rings or just generally die from electrical problems. So the first thing I wanted to see if anyone had been messing around with it and trying to get it running with other bits and pieces and find out what was wrong. So I opened the bonnet and I was really pleased to see that everything was covered in oil and dust, which is not normally a good sign when you go to view a car. But for me, this was perfect because I could see that there's no smudges. No one had done anything, unplugged anything, unbolted anything, swapped things around. It was all as it was when it broke down 2 years ago. Because sometimes that's half the battle. If someone's tried to get it running and fit in second-hand parts, and then the second-hand parts were faulty, you're trying to diagnose what's wrong with them, then that isn't the real problem. So you end up going round and round, chasing your tail, trying to work out what's actually wrong with it. But because this has been untouched, this will be, whatever the problem is still fresh, and it'll be a lot easier to find out. But I was really pleased to see that it's completely factory under here. It's still got the original crossover pipe and airbox, and it hasn't had an induction kit. It's even got the pre-cat on, which is normally the first thing to go. So it's a really good original car that's not been messed around with. The only modification I found on the whole car, it's got one silicone breather pipe on the front of the rocker cover, and I suspect that's just because it had a split or perished, and it's cheaper to buy a silicone one than it was to get the genuine Vauxhall replacement. So I will be replacing that with a genuine GM pipe, just so we've got a full complete OE car all the way through. So once I was happy that whatever the problem is the engine is still going to be there, it's going to be a lot easier to diagnose because no one's been messing around. So whether we do need a complete new engine, whether we can build this one. We're going to go through the stages together and find out what is actually wrong with it. So once I was happy there, I started looking around the rest of the car to see what condition, what bits were missing, and generally what was going on with it. So I looked at the tyres, the brakes, because I didn't want this spiral into a massive money pit where I was going to have to buy everything, and it all does look complete. The only thing missing is the front grille in the front bumper, where you can see it's been reversed into, and I reckon that's when it's popped out and it's just been left there. But hopefully that'll be pretty easy to get hold of, and both the front bumpers and the rear bumpers have got marks and little cracks on, so I may see if I can get a couple of second-hand bumpers in the Ardent Blue that can just bolt on, polish up and be as good as new. The car's done 120,000 miles and the interior is in fantastic condition. It's got the full leather upgrade, because normally they just have the half leather bolsters and the fabric in the middle like the Astra GSIs, but this has had the tick for the full leather all the way through, so it's got black leather Recaros all the way, even seats 6 and 7 in the boot are all full black leather. And the front ones are heated as well, so that's great. It's a great spec car. It's got all the normal things you'd find in a flagship model. So it's got electric windows in the front and rear, it's got electric mirrors, air conditioning, cruise control, all the usual stuff you'll expect, but it has got quite a few extras. It's got the sat-nav GPS head unit with the little satellite navigation screen in the middle, and it's also got the Auto Vision fold-out Vauxhall screen in the roof with a DVD player. So all these things got ticked on the day it came out of the factory. The only thing on the interior is, because it's been sat outside for so long, the moisture's got inside a bit with condensation and the headlining has got a bit saggy. So the guy who's selling this has also got another Vectra A he's breaking, so he said he'd include a headliner to go in out of that as well. So we spoke about the price, we come to a great deal, so I've got the car and the headlining, and he'd even deliver it here to Auto Shack, all for £600, which I think is a great price. These with this mileage are going for about 2.5 grand, so we'll be able to get this done under that. So if we wanted to sell it, we'll make a bit of a profit as well having a great project for you guys. But to be honest, I think I'll probably keep it. So let's have a little look in the engine bay. As you can see, covered in oil and grime, but that does mean I could see that no one's been messing around with anything. Got the remains of a dead bird in there, I think. Got some more wing over here, but none of the caps have been taken off. Nothing had been checked. Everything was just as it was when it broke down. You can see it's been sitting outside for a long, long time, so these all going to need going through, tidying up, all the green and grime, even got its own little forest growing. But overall, everything is there and nice and factory. So let's look at the rest of the car. We've got green on all the edges. In every shut, there's a whole load of mess, especially round in the boot. Got a nice bit of compost up in there, even on the roof. Needs a full going over in all the door shuts, but that'll all clean up nicely. What I'm going to do is give the whole car a good TFR off, pressure wash it everywhere, every little crevice and orifice, and get it all cleaned up. I'm going to do all in the wheel arches, inside and out. Probably get the wheels refurbed because I've got a little bit of corrosion on them. But it's a really nice, standard, original car. See inside, it's got the 7 seats in the boot. Even in the back, it's got the original toolkit, the original Vauxhall locking wheel nuts. Everything is just there. It's just such a nice, complete car. It's going to be perfect to get way back up to factory standard. So inside, you can see it's got the full black leather Recaros, and in the middle as well. And 6 and 7 in the back. Got full electric windows, front and rear, electric mirrors. You sit inside, it's got the option of the silver steering wheel at the bottom with the steering wheel controls. Got all the nice dials, 122,000 miles. Got the cruise control on the end, and we've got the sat-nav head unit, all the GPS screen and everything up there. Got the heated seats. And if we go back to the middle, we've got the remote control and all the original Vauxhall Auto Vision screen in the middle. So it's a DVD player with all the infrared for the headphones and everything else. So it's a bit retro, but that's a very cool option. As I said about before, we've got the saggy headline in, where it's just been sitting outside, but I've got another one of them on the way. But I absolutely love it. I think it's such a cool car. All the leather door cards, all the middle seats can slide forwards and backwards. Even came with a tyre inflator as well, part of the bargain price. As you can see, all the seats are in fantastic condition. Even the driver's one. See the bolsters not worn out. Everything needs a good clean up. So it's going to have a full valet inside and out. I can't wait to get it on the road. And so this is my daddy cool GSI. As you can see up close, it's looking very sorry for itself, but it's nothing we can't handle. It's going to get a full pressure wash off in all the wheel arches, every rubber, every crease. It's all going to get blasted out and all cleaned up spotless, and then a full machine polish and paint correction to get it up to gleaming to the standard it was as it came out of the factory 17 years ago. Because that's what I'm looking for, a completely original looking car as if it's 2003 and we've just rolled out of that showroom. So it's going to stay here at Auto Shack while we carry on with the kit car at the G unit, and then when we get that little slot where we're waiting for the registration to come through and the IVA test and everything else, we're going to crack on with this. So I may do a little bit of tinkering here just to try and diagnose what is wrong with the engine and maybe do a compression test on it and see how it fares and why it isn't running. But until then, I've got to resist. I'm so excited to start on it, but I've got to sit on my hands, I've got to hide the keys away and leave it locked up out the back because we need to get on with the kit car. We've got a schedule, we're going to keep to it. So I may put a little video in on diagnosing, doing a compression test on it in the future. But until then, make sure you subscribe because there's going to be, in the very future, lots of Zafira GSI content. So until next time, make sure you have fun.